Hi, my loves! Welcome to your reading. If you've seen the title, then you already know why you're here. This is going to be a general collective reading, so as always, trust your intuition. Take the messages that resonate for you and lovingly release the rest. I'm really excited because we're starting off with a new deck today. It's called Spirits and Shadows for anyone who might be curious. I've been wanting to work with this deck for a while, and I feel like it's going to bring through some really interesting messages for us. So let's just tune in, see what's in your energy right now, and find out what wants to come forward for you today. So we have Defiance, Key, the Hunter at the center, Autumn, and Wisdom. Right away, this feels like a situation that has a lot of layers. With the Hunter sitting at the center, I'm really picking up that there's someone here who definitely has their eye on you, almost like they're quietly observing or keeping track of you in some way. Then we have Key and Autumn. And for many of you, this points to something you've been waiting on, maybe an answer, a sign, or just a moment of clarity. It feels like that door is about to unlock for you, but in its own timing. Autumn itself represents the harvest season, things coming to fruition, the results of seeds planted earlier. So for some, this may literally mean communication or closure coming in during the fall months, or it could be symbolic of something finally ripening in your life. Now, Defiance paired with Wisdom tells me there's an interesting dynamic here. It feels like there's someone who may be resisting the truth or even denying their own feelings, almost suppressing what they know deep down. Yet at the same time, they're still watching, still present in your energy. It's like they can't quite look away even though they're holding back. So let's go ahead and clarify with the tarot. Why is the Hunter here? We've got the Ten of Pentacles, Strength, and the Four of Swords. Okay, so right away, I'm seeing that someone has definitely had their eye on you. This is somebody who sees you as serious, long-term potential, husband or wife material. It's like they recognize the Ten of Pentacles energy within you, that stability, that sense of home and legacy. Now, I also feel like this is someone you already know. This isn't a brand new energy, but the thing is, this person may not have always been the committal type in the past. They could have been more detached, maybe not someone who fully embraced relationships before. And yet, here they are, watching you, taking note of you, quietly imagining what life could look like by your side. With that Four of Swords, though, it tells me they're still in that contemplative, behind-the-scenes mode, almost like they're planning but haven't taken much action yet. Now let's clarify the key. Why is that here? We've got the Queen of Swords, the Five of Wands, and the Ten of Cups. So, here's the thing. Whoever this person is, I feel like for you, collective, there's been a question mark around this whole situation. For some of you, you may have felt like this was an illusion, or maybe even too good to be true. I'm seeing that this person has likely been quietly assessing, maybe even romanticizing this connection from afar. But when it comes to direct communication, they really haven't said much. With the Queen of Swords and the Five of Wands, it's like you're seeking clarity. You want straightforward answers. You don't want to be stuck in confusion or competition. Energy. And with the Ten of Cups here, you're wondering, was this ever real? Was it just a dream? Or could it actually be something lasting? For some of you, this connection may have started off strong, almost intensely magnetic. But then, it feels like it never really reached its full potential. It didn't quite grow into that Ten of Pentacles, let alone anything more secure. For others, it may have even remained in that situationship energy, where there was passion, but no real foundation. So why do we have Defiance? Well, it's judgment. And honestly, what I'm picking up here is that Spirit might actually have this person under judgment right now because of their defiant behavior, specifically their refusal to give you the answers or clarity you deserve. It feels like Spirit is watching this person closely. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. This is coming through as a very controlling energy. This is someone who prefers to keep the upper hand, who feels it's best to stay in the shadows and observe until they've fully assessed who you are and what this connection means to them. Instead of being straightforward, they pull back and strategize. At the bottom of the deck, we have the King of Pentacles paired with the Five of Swords, which really confirms this energy. This person is steady and practical on the surface, but there's also this manipulative streak where they withhold truths. They're not being fully transparent with you. And yet at the same time, they're very much lingering in your energy. No wonder you've been feeling that tension, sensing them around you, but not hearing the words or seeing the actions that match what you intuitively feel. It leaves you in that frustrating space of confusion, wondering what's real and what's not. For some of you, this could definitely be tied to an earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn. Well, what is this wisdom really pointing to? We've got the Five of Wands showing up again, along with the Hermit and the Nine of Swords. This tells me that this person has been keeping everything bottled up inside, and that in itself is what's creating the conflict and confusion for you. You're craving the truth, and they're sitting in silence, which only heightens the tension between you. So, collective, I do feel like this is going to be a pretty specific message for some of you. But let's pull on Autumn. Why is that here? We've got the Ace of Pentacles, with Temperance at the bottom of the deck, and the Emperor. To me, that's very clear confirmation. Many of you have been waiting on someone to step out of the shadows and finally reveal what they want, to make some sort of move toward you. Autumn, Leo season, even that 8/8 Lionsgate portal feels like a trigger point, a moment where the energy shifts and pushes this person to take action. With the Ace of Pentacles, Temperance, and the Emperor, it's that same strong, controlled energy again. They've been holding back, waiting for the right time to say something or to offer you something stable. It's almost as if they believe timing is everything, and they don't want to reveal their hand until they feel fully ready. Meanwhile, you've been in this space of waiting, knowing they hold the key, the clarity, the answers you've been searching for. For many of you, clarity really is on the horizon. The energy feels like it's building, aligning in such a way that this person won't be able to keep quiet much longer. All right, loves, let's move over to the tarot. Or actually, I'm feeling called to pull from the Wisdom of the Oracle deck first. Let's really see what's going on with this person, because what we're already picking up is that they are definitely watching. So the real question is, what are they planning to do? What's about to unfold here, especially with this autumn energy showing up? So we've got Imagine, Soulmates, and To Be Fair. Right away, there's that justice scale energy. It's about bringing balance, about something being made right. Then as we keep pulling, we've got Here and Now and Co-Create. What this tells me is that the person you're dealing with is very structured, very intentional. This is someone who normally likes to stay in control. They don't usually let themselves get lost in fantasy or daydreaming. But when it comes to you and this connection, it's different. With Imagine and Co-Create side by side, it's almost like you've become their focus, their vision. They've been picturing what life could look like with you, even if they've kept that deeply hidden. Then we have Soulmates. So this isn't just a passing thought. This feels like a genuine soul bond that they recognize, whether they've spoken it out loud or not. Here and Now is showing that crossroads energy. Do they keep clinging to the past, or do they step forward into the future with you? And To Be Fair is your energy too. It's you saying, I know what this is, you know what this is. Let's not stay in the shadows. Let's talk. Let's balance this out. Right now, it feels like things are off balance because this person is holding something very close to their chest. There's a key here, something important they've been keeping tucked away, almost like they're afraid to hand it over just yet. But Spirit is showing that it's coming to a point where fairness, truth, and openness can't be avoided much longer. So, why is To Be Fair here? Well, we've got the Queen of Cups, the Nine of Cups, and the Fool. That tells me you're waiting on this person to finally step forward and reveal what's really in their heart. There's definitely a lot of suppressed emotion here, like they've been holding it in for far too long. Then we see the Page of Wands and Strength, which makes me feel like they want to reach out, they want to take that first step, but they're having to muster the courage to actually do it. Now, when we ask what To Be Fair has to do with this person, we've got the Chariot, the Eight of Cups, and the Hanged Man. That combination says a lot. It feels like, in their mind, they want you to understand why they've taken the time they have, why they've kept their distance. I don't know what's going on behind the scenes in their life, but it does feel like they've chosen to stay in the shadows, quietly observing, almost like a hunter waiting for the right moment to move. Literally, some of you could even be dealing with someone who hunts, but energetically, it feels more like strategy. It's as though they've been weighing the scales, really thinking things through before they come forward and confess what they've been keeping inside. They don't want to rush this. They want to make sure that when they do approach, it's balanced, it's honest, and it's something that can actually grow into what they envision. So why is soulmates here? We've got the Knight of Wands, the Tower, and the Three of Cups. Honestly, I was already picking up on this vibe. When this person first connected with you, it doesn't feel like they were really in the space of wanting something long-term or deeply committed. They might have been more in that Knight of Wands energy, passionate, impulsive, seeking fun and excitement, but not necessarily stability. But here's the thing. Since then, they've been watching, observing, reflecting, and it feels like they're starting to envision something much bigger with you. They're beginning to see that 10 of Pentacles type of future, which is about building something solid, lasting, and abundant. So for some of them, this soulmate connection has pushed them into a crossroads moment. Do I keep running with that, Knight of Wands energy, or do I actually ground this and go after the real thing? And with the Tower showing up alongside the Three of Cups, this feels like a massive shakeup in their perspective. It's almost like Spirit is breaking down their old way of moving through relationships so that they can recognize what this truly is. The Three of Cups here is giving me strong vibes of wanting to reconcile, wanting to come together, and opening up some form of honest communication or expression. If your person has been in that hunter energy, watching from a distance, maybe because you've pulled away or even walked away, then that's exactly where this Tower moment comes in. It's hitting them that they can't just sit back forever. And as I say that, we've got the Five of Pentacles with the Six of Wands. So yes, they've been through a period of feeling left out, maybe even abandoned or rejected, but that space has given them time to reflect. Now it's like Spirit is saying, enough waiting, it's time to step forward. So let's go to the tarot and dig a little deeper here. What is this person's energy, and what are their true intentions with the collective? What are they planning to actually do? Wow. We've got the Four of Wands showing up first, which right away points towards some kind of union or reunion energy. For many of you, this is about them picturing stability, a home, or some type of long-term celebration with you. Then we've got the Eight of Pentacles, which shows there's this idea of wanting to put effort in, wanting to build or fix something. But here's the twist. The Three of Swords also came out, and that's where things get a little heavier. So let's clarify. Why is that heartbreak card here? We have the Nine of Swords, Queen of Pentacles, and the Two of Wands. This tells me that this person likely kept you waiting. It feels like you already knew the truth deep down, but they chose to hold back. Instead of being transparent, they distracted themselves, stayed behind the scenes, and just kept envisioning what this Four of Wands could look like without actually putting in the work or giving you clarity. What that did, though, was put you in a state of anxiety. The Nine of Swords shows sleepless nights, overthinking, questioning everything. And the Three of Swords confirms that it created heartbreak and emotional pain because you could feel the depth of this connection. You knew this was a soulmate bond, something significant, and yet you weren't getting the answers or the effort that matched what you already felt. Now, what I see here is that this person recognizes the damage their silence and hesitation has caused. With the Queen of Pentacles showing up, it's almost like they see you as someone stable, grounded, and nurturing, and they know that they risked losing that by keeping you in limbo. The Two of Wands shows me that they've been at this crossroads for a while, trying to decide when or how to make a move. Bottom line, they know they can't just slide back in casually. If they want this Four of Wands with you, they're aware that they're going to have to make it up to you in a real, tangible way. So what's going on with the Eight of Pentacles? Yeah, we've got the Empress here. And what this really shows is that after taking some time to reflect, this person has been keeping a very close eye on you. For a lot of you, they've been watching the way you've handled yourself, how gracefully you've detached from the situation. If they were showing up in that Knight of Wands energy before, all hot and cold, wishy-washy, not really giving you consistency, then you pulled your energy back. You knew your worth, you stepped into your power, and you focused on your own growth. Now, because of that, they're seeing an entirely new side of you. Deeper layers and facets they didn't recognize before. It's like you've only become more magnetic in their eyes, but with that realization comes the sting of regret. That's where this Three of Swords comes in. They're sitting in heartbreak because it's dawning on them that they may have let a true opportunity slip through their fingers. What they're realizing now is that you weren't just someone to pass time with. You represented real potential for building something lasting. You could have been the person to create that Ten of Pentacles life with. The stability, the family, the foundation, even that Four of Wands union energy. And now they're questioning whether they've missed their chance at all of that. So with the Four of Wands here, clarified by the Nine of Swords, it really ties into the energy of this person and the way they approach situations. I just feel like they're the type who needs to scope things out first. They like to sit back, observe, and almost test the waters before they take any real action. And in this case, they definitely had a bit of cold feet. What I'm getting is that you took them completely by surprise, collective. This connection, this meeting with you, it wasn't something they were expecting or even prepared for. I feel like they had a routine, a lifestyle that they were pretty comfortable in. And suddenly, here you come, shaking that all up. Instead of handling it with honesty or openness, they kind of fumbled it. They didn't handle it right, and they know it. Deep down, they know you deserve answers, and it feels like they've tried to distract themselves or put it off for long enough. Spirit is really highlighting that avoidance energy here. Now, when we clarify the Four of Wands with the Two of Cups, it becomes even clearer. There's that soulmate energy again. For some of you, this could even be twin flame dynamics at play. What it feels like is this. They weren't ready for you when you appeared in their life. They literally had to step back and watch you to figure you out, because from their perspective, you seemed almost too good to be true. And that scared them. But here's the thing. What they came to realize is that you weren't too good to be true at all. You were genuine. You were actually willing to give this connection a real chance. You were able to see their soul, no matter how they might have been acting on the surface in the 3D world. And honestly, a lot of them took that for granted. That's why we see the Three of Swords energy lingering here. It's not just you who felt the sting of disappointment or heartbreak. It feels mutual. But I will say this. It weighs heavier on them because they know they mishandled something that could have been beautiful. And that realization is what's been haunting them. Eight of Pentacles. Okay, let's see. So we've got the Ace of Swords here, which tells me this person is really focused on working toward bringing you some kind of truth. They've been avoiding it, skirting around it for far too long, and they know it. For many of you, when you pulled your energy back or detached from the situation, you did it with unconditional love still in your heart. You still carried that hope that at some point they'd wake up, see the light, and step up in a real way. But what stands out is the lack of action, the lack of clear communication, and honestly, the lack of courage on their part in the past. And now, it feels like this person is realizing that if they want to make this right, if they want any chance of coming back into your life, it can't just be surface level effort. It has to come with honesty. They know the only way forward is through truth, through clarity, and through owning up to what they've avoided. Whether it's making amends, finally expressing their feelings, or simply showing you with action instead of words, they're working on figuring out how to do that. Why the Three of Swords? Well, it's the sun, and that really says a lot. They let something amazing, something truly bright and rare, slip through their fingers. For many of them, they put this off for far too long. It's like they assumed they had all the time in the world, but time doesn't wait. And for some of you, you finally hit that point where you were like, no, enough is enough. You were done waiting for clarity that never came, done trying to piece together what was hidden in the shadows. The sun is all about illumination, and that's exactly what's happening here. They're beginning to see this connection for what it truly is. After all this time, the realization is hitting them that they had something real, something life-giving, and they mishandled it. For a lot of them, this clarity comes while they're watching you, online, from a distance, or in the 3D if they still have that access. It's like you're this guiding light they can't ignore anymore. And the truth is, I think this person is finally certain of who you are to them. That certainty might have been the very thing they struggled with before because it forced them to face their fears. Trust seems to be a big theme here. For some of them, there's a past wound, some betrayal or disappointment that left them guarding their heart a little too tightly. So when you came along, bringing this level of authenticity and depth, it was almost overwhelming. Instead of embracing it, they froze, hesitated, maybe even sabotaged. But now the heartache is hitting them because the light of this connection won't let them forget what they almost lost or what they already did. Why is the sun here? We've got strong Leo energy showing up. The 9 of Pentacles, 7 of Pentacles, and Death are telling the story. This person has been in a waiting game, holding back, lingering in the shadows instead of stepping into the light. They know deep down they need to liberate themselves, to finally break free from that hesitation and say what's truly on their heart. The longer they sit in silence, the more that 3 of Swords energy wedges itself between what could actually be something beautiful. This person really does place you on a pedestal. And in some ways, that's been part of their excuse for not moving forward. They may have told themselves things like, the collective will never want me, or I'll never measure up to their standards, so why even try? That kind of thinking has only deepened their delay, but at the core of it, it's clear. They're realizing that staying in the shadows is costing them this connection. Why is the Empress here? Well, it's clarified by the 4 of Swords, which tells me this person knows there's healing that needs to happen between the two of you. There's been that 3 of Swords energy lingering in this connection, on both sides, honestly, and the only way through it is for them to finally open up, to express what's really been inside. That's the missing piece here. For many of you, I feel like you pulled your energy back because it became too heavy, too repetitive, like a cycle that just kept going round and round. You were probably sitting there thinking, when are they ever going to be real with me? When are they going to speak their truth? And the truth is, this person held back because of fear. That's what it comes down to. They were scared. Scared of being vulnerable, scared of what it would mean if they admitted what they really felt. But with the Empress here, there's this undeniable energy of growth, healing, and creation. It's like the universe has been nudging them, showing them that silence only deepens the wound, and that the only way to restore this connection is through honesty and courage. Why the 9 of Swords with the 10 of Wands? Well, it's because they finally see it now. They recognize what this connection truly is and who you are to them. And with that realization comes a heavy weight. There's anxiety, stress, maybe even regret pressing on them about how they handled things, what they did or failed to do, and whether it's even possible to repair it at this point. For some of them, the fear is that you don't even look at them the same anymore, that whatever image you once held of them has changed. And I don't think this is someone who's necessarily a coward. In fact, their energy feels more on the masculine side, someone who normally steps into challenges head on. But when it came to you, when it came to exposing their heart and being honest about the feelings they had for this connection, they froze. They chickened out. Now that avoidance has snowballed into this state of panic, this restless energy where they replay everything in their mind, it feels like they're carrying the burden of knowing they mishandled something rare. And that weight is crushing them more and more as the truth of what this connection is becomes undeniable. Well, let's take a look at why the Ace of Swords is here. It's showing up with the 4 of Wands, and that says it all. This is the truth of what they could have with you, the life, the connection, the stability that's actually possible. They know it. Deep down, they fully recognize that they're never going to find anyone better, no matter how much they might try to convince themselves otherwise. What they truly want here is reunion, but the issue is that this person has held back their truth for far too long. For whatever reason, fear, pride, uncertainty, the words were left unsaid. And I can't pinpoint exactly why, because for each of you the circumstances will differ. For some, there could even be an actual block or obstacle in the 3D world. Distance, responsibilities, or another tie that's been weighing heavily. But when we look deeper, the Knight of Cups at the bottom of the deck and the Lovers showing up are clear confirmations. This isn't just fleeting interest. It's love. It's longing. It's the recognition of a soul bond. This is the clarity. The Ace of Swords is delivering. You are their soulmate, possibly even that cosmic counterpart, the one soul that reflects theirs in a way nobody else ever has. And the hard truth, the one they can't ignore, and why they keep watching you, drawn to you even in silence, is this. They could search the entire world, go to the ends of the earth, and they will never find another you. That realization is both their greatest awakening and their deepest ache right now. I just want to really look into why this person held back so much, why they were so hesitant, almost afraid to come forward. We've got the Ten of Swords, the Sun, and the Queen of Wands. For some of them, it honestly feels like they thought if they came forward and expressed themselves, there was a real chance of rejection. Like, what if you didn't feel the same way? That fear weighed heavily. For many of you, this has been a very mutually unspoken bond. Not for everyone, but for a lot of you. It's like the feelings have always been there, yet left unsaid. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Behind the Queen of Wands, we see the King of Wands and the Star. That right there is telling me they recognized this connection from the very beginning, as something fated, destined even. This wasn't just attraction. This was that counterpart, soulmate energy, intense, magnetic, undeniable. And because it was so powerful, I think they actually became even more cautious. They didn't want to risk ruining it by saying the wrong thing too soon. So their strategy was to wait, to watch, to hold back. But here's the thing. They miscalculated. That waiting only prolonged the tension between you two. The connection is so strong that leaving it unspoken almost made it heavier. With the Ten of Swords showing up, it's clear their biggest fear was putting their truth on the table and having it not be reciprocated. They thought it was safer to say nothing, to maybe look for signs from you instead. The Four of Swords, Eight of Pentacles, and Ace of Swords all point to that. They were trying to figure out if you felt the same before daring to open up, but here's where you both are now. Sitting in this Three of Swords and Sun energy. Both of you ready to move past the hurt, ready for clarity, ready to finally bring truth into the open. And when we dig deeper, behind the Sun in the Wands pair, we've also got the King of Cups with the Star, showing that beneath the surface, there have always been deep, genuine emotions here. This wasn't just attraction. This person has been carrying a lot of feeling for you. At the end of the day, what held them back wasn't a lack of love or passion. It was fear of the outcome. Fear that if they opened their heart, everything could shatter. And yet, that's the very conversation they've been wanting to have with you all along. Well, let's talk about the Four of Wands, the Two of Swords, the Chariot, and the Six of Pentacles. For some of you, this really was the crossroads moment. In this connection, it feels like this person was standing there, staring at what this Four of Wands, Ten of Pentacles type of life could look like, and it honestly scared them. Maybe they never truly believed that kind of stability, that kind of home and family energy was ever going to be meant for them. For others of you, it wasn't so much fear as it was hesitation. This deep pause where they were questioning, do you feel the same? Do you even want this too? Before they could step forward and say anything, before they could set this chariot in motion, they were looking for some kind of sign, some reassurance that this wouldn't be one-sided. Because with the Six of Pentacles here, it all comes down to reciprocity. Is this going to be mutual? Or will I be left vulnerable if I make this move? So, what are they going to do next? We've got the Page of Swords and the Ace of Cups showing up, which tells us they're still watching, still circling around your energy. And remember, they already came out earlier as the Hunter. Now Death shows up, Scorpio energy, along with the Ten of Swords, and at the bottom we've got the Six of Wands and the Tower. Collective. If you're resonating with this, you can probably feel it deep down. This person hasn't fully let go. There's unfinished business here. They want to speak, and that's exactly why we see Death and the Ten of Swords paired with the Page of Swords. The cycle of watching, spying, waiting in the shadows, it can't go on forever. Something has to end before something real can begin. If they want a true victory with you, that Six of Wands energy, then they're going to have to step up and work for it. That means coming out of the shadows, finding their courage, and actually saying what they need to say. And look, none of us can predict the future with certainty. Free will is always in play. But here's the thing. This person has to trust that the connection is strong enough to withstand their truth, and that when they come forward, they won't. be met with rejection that breaks them down. With the Six of Wands and the Tower together, this could honestly come out of nowhere for you. It might shock you when it happens. And then don't forget, right behind that is the Three of Cups, hinting at reunion, reconciliation, or at least some kind of heartfelt coming together. So I'll just say it like this. If this message is resonating, your person is in the process of getting themselves together. They know exactly what they need to do. And for some of them, they're realizing they can't keep dragging their feet, because the longer they wait, the more you're likely to fully detach and move on. I'm not saying that every single one of them is going to pour their whole heart out right away, but when they do finally come forward, you'll be able to feel their intentions clearly. You'll know. All right, my loves, I'm going to leave this specific message right here for today. I truly hope it brought you some clarity or confirmation, and I'd love to hear down in the comments if this resonated with you. If you enjoyed the reading, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of the upcoming messages. Sending you all so much love and light, and until next time, I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.